Harry Taylor, but Harry Taylor is an absolute go-to defender who any team would want. So, in saying that, let's move in to our top 5. In 5th place, who I was contemplating putting 6, but then I thought, the accolades this guy has won. I mean, he has won 3 premierships. 3 premierships as a captain. A Brownlow. All-Australians. One of the greatest captains of all time. Love him or hate him. It's true. It's Trent Cotchin. And after listing all those accolades, I'm now thinking to myself, why is he not in the top 4? Well, there's a couple reasons. I'm going to be completely honest. Trent Cotchin didn't deserve the Brownlow. That is Joe Watson's Brownlow. Look, if he took drugs, then, I don't know, different story. Let's not get political. I think most people know at this point that, you know, it wasn't really illegal what Essendon did. And to be honest, I still think Joe Watson deserves that Brownlow. Definitely not Cotchin and Sam Mitchell. But in saying that, Cotchin was never like a really an elite player. Like, he was never top 3. That's what I mean. Top 3 midfielders in the comp. He was always consistently top 10. You know, his prime from probably 09 to probably 2018. I mean, that body of work is actually crazy. Should I put him in higher place? Maybe. I mean, you all know by now I am a Richmond fan, so I have tried not to be biased with this Trent Cotchin pick. There would be people who have Trent Cotchin first. I mean, quite literally, he's got the most flags in this list. Most flags as a captain. He's the only one of 2 players with the Brownlow on this list. I mean, what more needs to be said? I just think because he's not key position, he's not a key position player. I've got some other key position players in there, and there are just some better players. This draft is stacked. 2007 draft, it started slow with Ward and Scott Thompson, but it is getting stacked, and the top 4 is extremely stacked. Now, Cotchin probably should be 4th place, but let's put him 5th, trying to ignore any bias. I mean, as a leader, this guy, what he changed the history of Richmond, the culture of Richmond. He was the guy, the leader, obviously. I mean, 3 flags as a captain, that is remarkable. He will go down as one of Richmond's greatest players ever. He will never be said as the greatest, no chance, but definitely top 10. Definitely the greatest captain in Richmond's history in terms of accolades. And you hear some old Richmond people saying he is. Now, very contentious, and if you're a Richmond fan, you might disagree with that. But I think what Cotchin brings, it isn't quite the flair of some other players higher up in this list, but the consistency and body of work, it is there. He did drop off quite a lot the last sort of 3 years, where a couple of the other players in this list haven't. You know, 2 in the top 4 have aged kind of like fine wine, but we'll get onto those. And in terms of Cotchin's prime, which is probably 2012, the Brownlow year, he still wasn't like this phenomenal midfielder, if you get what I mean. Like, and like I said, this is coming from a Richmond fan. You can't actually see, I'm gonna get this so you know I'm a Richmond fan. Boom, look at that. Call me a Richmond fan now. Anyway, just thought I'd show off the catalogue. You know what? Should I yeah, I can't actually put that up. Anyway, let's get back on track. Enough about Trent Cotchin. Well, let's talk about where Cotchin was picked. Famously, Cotchin went at 2nd place. Obviously, Richmond picked Cotchin. If he would have gone to 5th place, the Doggies could have had Cotchin. They could have had Cotchin. So they've missed out on the GOAT. Not actually. But anyway, let's actually, before we get into our top 4, I want to go through 2 honourable mentions. Now, in this series, often I do honourable mentions. Usually there's more. Now, you could put some more honourable mentions, but there's 2 rucks that I didn't put in. Now, if I was doing this as the top 10 players from the draft, I would put them in. But because, like I said, I'm trying to do this series in the scope of a drafter, like someone drafting these players. We all know rucks aren't important for a flag. I've said it before on so many videos, and it's such common knowledge now that you can win a flag without a great ruck. They can be a pretty shite ruck. Like, there's so many examples.